Hello, my wonderful friends. How is everybody? If you didn't see the live over the yesterday, or over the weekend, I don't know when I'll post this, but anyway, the most recent live, go and have a look at it. It was really, there were some amazing readings there. And if you ever want a reading for yourself, a card reading for yourself, just click on my channel name and then click on the word that says live, and it'll tell you when the next live is scheduled. And most of my lives, or in fact almost exclusively all of them, is a live relating to you type your question into the comments, and I do a live reading for you. And so we did a lot of readings of deceased mothers because of Mother's Day tomorrow, at least here in Australia. I don't know when Mother's Day is elsewhere. So yeah, come along and get yourself a free reading. But today we're going to read about Meghan Markle and their bath salts. The bath salts. Oh, look at that. Alchemy. Mixing the bath salts. Mixing the bath salts. And look at that pouty look. So in case you're not up to date, there's a lady, well, you know, Meghan Markle did this with Love Meghan show. It was supposed to be a cooking show, then didn't really end up being much of a cooking show. Anyway, on one of the episodes, she created this bath salt concoction for her crying makeup artist, Daniel, because she wants to show you how to be a good hostess. And she shows you to put, now don't do this, don't follow this recipe. She puts Epsom salts and Himalayan salt and tons of arnica, essential oils. Essential oils are very, very, very strong and concentrated. You should never just chuck. Anyway, that's what she did on her show. And then this poor lady, Robin Patrick, she followed what Meghan was presenting, and then she ended up with very, very severe burns, she claims. And now she has asked Meghan to pay for her medical bills and some pain and suffering. Meghan's lawyers fired back and said, well, no, firstly, we don't know that it was the bath salt concoction that caused those terrible burns. But even if it was, this lady, Mrs. Patrick, has got diabetes. And if you've got diabetes, Epsom salts are contraindicated. And also, nobody could have known that this would happen, that somebody would be injured from it if she, in fact, was injured. And to the question that nobody could have known, well, anybody who watched any of the videos after that episode would know that tons of people went online and said, this is very dangerous, don't do this, don't use her concoction. Anyway, so we're going to see, what does Meghan think about this potentially getting sued? Fairy of the Highlands, it's time to be brave. No, she's going to put on a brave face. She's not going to admit any wrongdoing, any liability. And she's going to think that fighting this cause is going to make her look like a brave, strong woman. A brave, strong woman. Look at that, the storm angel. She's ready for a fight. She's ready for a fight. What else? Tell us more. Tell us about Meghan. What does Meghan think of this demand that she's received? What does Meghan think of this demand? The lantern fairy, but it's in the upside down. She wants this to remain hidden. She wants it to be sheltered. She doesn't want the truth to come to light. She is not going to accept responsibility. And look at that. Look at that. She doesn't care that somebody got harmed, or somebody claims she got harmed. And the red hair is the royal connection, the Harry connection. I'm royalty. You can't sue me. She didn't give any thought to the fact that this might be a dangerous thing. Okay, she feels put upon. She feels that somebody's out to get her. Why is this person coming after me? Why are they doing this to me? It's not my fault. And I am looking for a different deck of cards. Let's see what I can find. Okay. What does Harry think? What does Harry think? We'll ask what Harry thinks, then we'll ask about the lawyers, and then we'll ask about Mrs. Patrick. And what do you think? I mean, I'll tell you what I think, but what do you think? Leave me your comments. Your comments always cheer me up, even if it's just an emoji. It really, really helps make my day. What do you think? Okay, we're going to see. What does Harry think about this claim by this Mrs. Patrick? Dependency. He will do and think whatever Meghan says. His one and only desire is to make Meghan happy. Remember, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. No, he no longer seems to have a personality. It's insecurity. So he would never speak out. Even if he thought that she was in the wrong, he would never speak out against her, because she has the control. She wears the pants. He's just kind of apathetic. It's like, oh, whatever. And he's fear of making her mad. Obviously, you know, a husband and a wife would usually support each other in public, but in private, I would have hoped that he would have shown a bit of a backbone. Yeah, he feels neglected. So he's kind of unplugged, according to these cards. He's not concerned about it. He's a bit unplugged. Avoidance. He wants to avoid any arguments with Meghan. Suppression. He doesn't want another court case. If she's done something wrong, he doesn't want people to know about it. Wow. And what other cards could I use? Let's see this one. What do his lawyers think? What do his lawyers think? What does her lawyers think? What do Meghan's lawyers think about this situation? Miss Spiderweb. I'm getting from this that she is the kind of client that you can be tangled in her web. And I keep meaning to do a video on Harry and what of a kind of a client he is for his lawyers. But she's a tricky client, and her lawyers know they have to be very, very careful, because if they make a misstep, they're going to be caught in her web. She will set their sights on them. She will be angry with them, just like Harry was seemingly angry with his lawyers. Yeah, they have to be very careful. It's kind of like just to make sure that they don't get in trouble from her or because of her. They've got to make sure that whatever they present to the court is above board, because if she spins a web of lies and they take it at face value, then they could be in trouble. The gift of sacred sight, says this card. This is the sort of the fairy tale notion of, oh, but nobody could have foreseen this. That's just an argument that they're running. I don't think they really believe that. That would be something that Mrs. Patrick, the lady that was hurt, would have to prove, that Meghan owed a duty of care to the viewers, and that she was somehow negligent in that duty of care, and it was foreseeable that somebody could be injured. The Frog Princess. She's throwing her weight around. The lawyers are being a bit differential to her. I'm getting from these cards. Elizabeth and the Lion. The lion represents the royal family. Do you know who my deceased grandmother-in-law was? She was the Queen of England. Yeah, she's throwing her weight around with these lawyers. I'm just my personal opinion as a lawyer myself, but it might be that they're charging her a premium because of how difficult she is and how bossy she is. Childhood treasures. So she's claiming she's innocent. She wants them to say that she's innocent, that she's done nothing wrong. Huh. Okay. Let's see. What's this one? I think this is the Time Traveler's deck. What do Mrs. Patrick's lawyers think? What do Mrs. Patrick's lawyers think? This one just jumped out. Higher consciousness. I'm getting that they actually are not only in it for money, they're in it for the greater good. The angel card that's come through, they've tested her her evidence. They've looked at it according to these cards, and she seems to be straightforward. She seems to be no deception, boundaries. That to me, as a lawyer, that's very much a, you don't believe what your client says. You put the boundaries around it, and you actually look at the evidence first. You look at the evidence and you see whether you think there's a potential case. So I'm getting that they're fairly diligent. Adventure, they know that if this case moves forward, it is going to be chaos, adventure. There's going to be, yeah, it's going to be unlike any other case. It's going to be really wild. It's going to be a wild ride. But they're there for it. And I imagine that they're likely doing it on a contingency basis, whereas the client doesn't pay them until they get to the very end and actually get a payout, and then they get a percentage of whatever she gets. Miracles. They know that it's going to be tough to go up against Meghan Markle. They know because of her financial resources that these lawyers have got the fortitude, the strength to take on the lady that lives in the castle. Yeah, so they really are keen to move the case forward. And if you don't hear any more about this case, it might mean that a backroom settlement has been reached. If that was going to happen, I would have expected it to happen, and part of the deal to be keeping the situation quiet, so that Meghan, so that nobody could publish this, so that nobody would know that this situation happened. Okay. Sorry, something is beeping in my house. I don't know what it is. My next question is, how is this going to end? There's a skeleton and a plague mask. And it's in the upside down. So I wasn't saying from which perspective, whether that this is the perspective of the lady who's been injured or the perspective of Meghan Markle. Okay, let's ask the cards how. So it's going to be difficult, and reputations are going to be ruined. Let's ask from the perspective of Netflix. What does Netflix think? The witch at the end of the world. Time is running out. This might be the end of the contract with Netflix. They are not happy. They are not happy. Look at that, Angel of Time, and it's in upside down. Like I said, time is running out. Mildew Fairy. She's a person who is tarnishing their reputation, bringing them into disrepute. Time for change. Whatever happens, this could be the final nail in the coffin. And the Absinthe Fairy. Intoxication, distorted view, overindulgence. Yeah, they sick of it. They sick of her. They sick of her problems. Yeah. So I don't know whether Netflix is going to fund a defense or maybe get their insurance to pay out something so that it quietly goes away. But they're not happy. And I don't know if her pal Ted Sarandos at Netflix is going to be able to help her. Anyway, my lovely people, do let me know what you think. Thank you for always being here. May the angels walk with you now and always.